Hi, Jim Carson here from Blackstock Ford Lincoln, and once again I am joined with our performance specialist and overall Mustang gearhead guy, Riley Murphy, and we're here today to talk about the brand new, just got it, 2024 order guide and pricing guide. So stay tuned. We're going to try our best to go through. We got some limited information. It's a lot of new information on the 2024, and I know a lot of people are excited to hear about it. So
I'm excited.
Yeah. I think any Mustang enthusiast is. We'll talk about some of the controversies, talk about some of the bullshit you hear on the internet. You know what they say about opinions? They're like assholes. Everyone's got them, and there's a couple of billion assholes on this planet. So, but there's a lot of really good, knowledgeable Mustang guys too. So, but we'll try to give you as much information as we can. So, let's start off and talk about sort of what's changed and highlights what's changed. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the Ecoboost, but let's start there, Riley.
Yeah, for sure. So Ecoboost for this year, it is a completely redesigned engine. I believe it makes the same horsepower though. Automatic only, that's a big change. You can't get a 6-speed in an Ecoboost anymore in any configuration. You can still get the Ecoboost equivalent of the performance package. They've got the new appearance packages are both available on the Ecoboost 2, which is cool. You can get either performance pack with Brembos. Some cool stuff there still.
Well, let's talk about the lack of the stick in the 4-cylinder Ecoboost. I think they sold like 2% of that car.
Yeah, I believe that.
So, you know, anybody who's going to complain about, oh, they're getting rid of the stick, well, everyone's getting rid of the stick.
Yep.
And if you're running a company, you do have a responsibility to be profitable.
Yes. And
at 2% of the sales, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And then you got two different manual transmissions when we're getting into the V8 powered. I don't want to call it the GT because, of course, I'm talking about the availability of the Tremec in the Darkhorse. But I digress. So stick is gone in the Ecoboost, described as an all-new 2.3, yet the same horsepower rating. We're really not sure about that. What about some of these color combinations, Riley? These new packages and new appearance packages, because there's a lot. Let's cover that.
Yeah, we're getting a bunch of new wheels with all of these packages for one, and there are going to be a bunch of different color combinations. We are losing a couple colors as far as exterior colors go from last year. The mischievous purple is one.
My favorite, but I said it would last a year, and you should have bought it last year.
Yep, you should have. And fighter jet gray, obviously that's got to go because the Mach 1 is gone, and you know, that makes a lot of sense. But we're going to have painted calipers as kind of a cool change. It's always been, when you get the Brembos, they're always that kind of grayish color. But now you can get either blue or race red, which is really neat.
So we just jumped around a little bit. We started off on Ecoboost, and then we, of course, went right away to the Darkhorse.
Of course, yeah.
What does that say about us? But right off the major product changes, the very first thing you get as changed is it says, quote unquote, Mach 1 now called Darkhorse, quote unquote. Yes. So that's what, I guess, if you're not aware of that, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. And there is no Shelby for the 24 model year. Is the Shelby name coming back? I'm not really sure, but we'll talk about that some more. So Ecoboost, the color changes, but these colored combinations of the brake calipers, like I'm looking at it and it's sort of like, would they let me order a yellow car with blue brakes and red seat belts, another color option? Right
now it looks like it. I can't find anything in here anyway that says no. I don't think they're going to save you from yourself.
And it says the red seat belts are not available. It's only available with the performance package.
Yep.
And it says not available with a red interior.
Yeah.
Is that because, I don't know.
I've got to assume
the red interior comes with red seat belts, maybe?
I don't think, well, and again, we're kind of guessing on this one because we haven't seen enough images of the cars, and we haven't seen one in person. Well, we have seen one in person, but not a production car yet. Previous model years, the red interior still had black seat belts. I'd have to guess that the red in the seatbelt is a different enough color than the red in the interior that they don't think it looks good together. So they are going to, you know, somewhat limit you in that sense. But other than that, it seems like it's going to be open season for color combinations.
So on these appearance packs, then, whether we're talking the GT or the Ecoboost or appearance pack, these the different a lot more flexibility than maybe in previous years.
Yes, and they're
in terms of what you can get it with, right?
Yeah, and they're all combinable with the performance pack, which is a change. They kind of started to roll that change in last year, I guess, with the California Special being combinable with the performance pack, but now it's everything across the board.
Right. So, and these appearance packages we're talking about, what are they? What are the packages again called? There's the
So we've got the Night Pony, which is, I'm kind of thinking of that as like a Darkhorse light kind of thing, where it's got the same idea with a lot of dark accents, and yeah, black badges, obviously, the black deck lid spoiler, black mirror caps, black painted roof, and all that kind of fun stuff. So and a different wheel, a unique wheel for the package. I think it's going to look really good.
A unique wheel for the package, unless you order it in combination with the performance pack.
Yeah.
Then it's the same wheel, it appears.
Yeah.
Just different colors.
Yes,
and it's going to be black. So the performance pack standard wheel in a GT is going to be like that graphite gray, right?
Yeah.
And it looks, from what we can see on some of those pictures, and maybe we'll have that flashed up on the screen right now. The wheel looks like the PP2 wheel from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Which is...
No, it's a nice change.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's only taken them 9 years to get a different wheel on the performance pack one, but glad they have. And they're larger, of course, than the performance pack one.
Yep.
So again, the night package or night pony package would have a black wheel, and if it's not in a performance package, it's going to be an 18-inch wheel.
I believe it's still a 19, but it's a 19 by 8.5, whereas the performance pack gets a wider rear wheel, from what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, no. Well, the performance pack definitely is half-inch bigger wheels, and no longer a square fitment.
Yeah.
And it's summer tires. But what I don't, I guess what I'm asking is, if I don't get a performance package, I still get a 19-inch wheel.
Yes.
But it's not going to be like the Pilot Cup 2 summer-only tires or anything like that.
No.
I don't even know if it's Pilot Cup 2.
No, you're going to get. I don't believe they're summer only, but it is going to be a little bit bigger tire. So you're going to get 255s instead of, I believe, the factory tire size is still going to be a 235, which is just too small. They do have, even without the performance pack, the 19-inch wheel though, because you can now get, if you have one of the appearance packages, you can get Brembos as a standalone to combine with that, which means they have to be a 19.
And I see again on the Ecoboost, before we move on from that, there's a wheel and stripe package. 19 by 8.5 machined aluminum with tarnished dark pockets, a hood stripe, side stripe, not available with the over-the-top racing stripe or the Mustang Night Pony, 2.3 high performance package, or the polished aluminum wheel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, it's a bit of a shame that the Ecoboost gets trashed on. And I'm guilty of it, because it is a great powertrain, and for the right person, if you're looking for a fun car to drive, that all-out performance isn't the most important thing, and especially that leads me to be a convertible car almost.
Yeah.
The Ecoboost convertible automatic, and make it look how you want it to look.
For sure.
So, right there, you've lost my interest. So let's go on to the GT. Is that fair?
Yep.
And some of the stuff may appear there. All right. So the press release photos that I've seen, very few of the light colors they're showing. But the odd time when I see the light colors, then I see the black accent packages stand out, and they just simply don't. They're almost not even visible with the dark colors.
Yeah. No, for sure. One thing that we didn't talk about with the Ecoboost cars that is now standard on all of the cars, you've got Sync 4 and the digital dash that are standard on everything across the board now. So you're going to have the yeah, the full digital dash and then the big screen. There's no way to get, like, in a previous model year car, the 300A had that little like 2-inch screen and analog gauges. You're not going to be able to get something without big screens anymore, which is kind of neat.
Wow. If you don't put a big screen in, you can't sell it anymore. That
Basically, yeah.
Sort of seems that the way it's going. Okay, let's read off the Mustang GT. Again, not the Darkhorse. And the GT includes all of the standard equipment from the Ecoboost. And then mechanically, you have a 355 limited slip rear axle. You know, we've done these videos for a couple of years now, and so my experience with the Mustangs, with supercharging the Mustangs, with taking the Mustangs to the track, I have made this statement before, and it's never going to change. The limited slip axle is pretty much useless, and for me, I just can't. I personally, I wouldn't be buying a Mustang GT without that Torsen limited slip axle.
Yep.
Now they've raised that. That's only available in the performance pack,
Yes.
but it can be bought through performance parts from Ford Performance Parts, right?
Yep. Yeah, you can buy it and have it installed.
Yeah, and unlike a truck or a Bronco or something, you've only got one to replace. It's not like you're doing, Okay. The engine, the new horsepower ratings, and start stop not available.
Yep.
So I noticed. Well, you covered what's the horsepower difference?
Yeah,
and
so
just on the GT, the two engines basically, or
So
two horsepower ratings.
Yeah. So the GT, we were 450 last year, 460 in 21, but 450 for 22 and 3.
Yeah.
Now we're 480. Plus, they're saying active valve adds 6 horsepower now, so 486, which is actually more than the Mach 1 ever made even.
And they didn't used to rate the horsepower different with the active exhaust.
No.
I don't know what's changed there, but we'd have to do a deep dive into Ford doesn't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
I just found that interesting.
Yeah, this is the first year they've talked about anything like that.
Yeah.
Even though active valve probably came out in 2015, right?
And and that active exhaust now has bumped up in price in Canadian in the Canadian Order Guide. It's now $1,500, $1,495, but still
Worth every penny.
Yeah, worth every penny. Worth every penny.
Yep.
And even if you should find afterward that it's not loud enough, okay, you can modify it later.
Yeah.
But but just having the ability to all the quiet mode for starting and the different levels of sound up to what they call race level, which still has to be, the manufacturer still has to hit the legal limits, which I believe is 89 decibels.
Yep.
And it's pretty darn close to
Yeah,
that.
it comes pretty close.
Yeah.
And if it's not enough, the move is an X-pipe. I'm assuming we're still going to be able to do an X-pipe in the 2024s because that stuff underneath the couple of shots I've seen, it doesn't look a ton different from the exhaust routing perspective.
Even if it is different, we know that it's not going to take the aftermarket long to bring out an X-pipe for sure. Okay, so I'm looking through here, it says engine cover. Do you know what that's about?
Yeah, well, for one, the EcoBoost cars don't have an engine cover. It's just the engine as it sits.
Right.
But for this year, because the engine's redesigned and the intake manifold now is the dual throttle body setup, they have to build a different engine cover to go over top of that to fit the dual throttle bodies. That's all I think they mean by that.
It looks cool having those sort of
it's pretty neat.
Y-shaped dual intake at the front. Larger brake rotors are standard on the GT. We're not talking about the Brembos yet, but even the stock brakes are larger brake rotors with 4-piston fixed calipers.
Yeah, I mean, you've got another 160 some odd horsepower and
160.
Well, compared to the EcoBoost car, right?
Okay.
So, and some more weight, being a 8-cylinder instead of 4. So,
Gotcha.
a little bit of extra brakes never hurt.
Okay. Transmission, the MT82 manual transmission.
Yep.
Includes dual mass flywheel and twin disc clutch, and rev matching with the MT. That carries over from last year. And, there's lots of fans of the Tremec. Some people trash the MT82. But here we sit as a dealer that sold a lot of them, and we can say, wasn't like huge failure rates or anything like that,
No.
or people abusing them and racing them hard. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe the linkage part
Yeah.
was not as
And-
robust as it could have been.
Yeah, and that seems to be the big fix in the aftermarket is you just put a shifter on it. It's a pretty simple thing to change, and then if you don't like the feel of the factory ones, which
But
I
Ford
never-
itself updated their shifter system, halfway through the 22 model year, I think, or maybe even 21. I can't remember. Changed the bushings or something on that.
Yeah,
shifter.
fair enough. And maybe I think most of the cars I've driven with 6-speed have been later than 21, so maybe that's why I don't have an issue with them, is I haven't driven too many of the early ones. I've spent more time in the late model ones.
Okay, and exterior 5-liter fender badge, yeah. GT dual exhaust with 3.5-inch quad tips are included with the active exhaust.
Yeah.
The GT rear applique badge. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
no
all.
change there. Hood vents, slightly different change to the hood. Wedge deck lid spoiler that's painted body color. Tires basically the same. 255 45 18s are standard on the GT. Unique front fascia. Unique high gloss black painted front grille. We talked about that.
Yep.
And the standard wheels are black ebony painted 18 by 8.5. As of this we've only had this for a few days. We still haven't been supplied pictures of the wheels, but from in print, but we're showing you as many as we can there. And wheels are always of hot interest, of course, on the Mustang.
And these are the biggest changes in wheels in a long time.
Yeah, I'd agree with that there. Okay, so going through, there's still the base GT and the premium GT.
Yep.
What's the big difference between those two?
I mean, the big ones now are leather interior, some different trim options in the interior, that sort of thing. It used to be, the big difference was you went from, analog gauges and a teeny screen to you got all the big digital display and stuff. Oh, and climate controlled seats, of course, and heated steering wheel, that fun stuff. Interestingly enough, though, in the 301A package now, so in the base GT, you can get heated seats.
Huh? Okay.
Yep, so that's a change for this year.
Yeah, I see down here, so the 5-liter engine includes port fuel direct injection, yeah. It includes remote rev.
Yeah.
When equipped with the 10-speed automatic. Gimmicky.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And they've got, in the same kind of line of thinking, they've got the drift brake now, where it's an electronic brake, but rather than having the electronic parking brake that's just a little switch, like in pretty much all of our other cars that have gone to an electronic parking brake, in these ones, it's still a handle in the center.
Cool looking handle.
Yeah, it does look neat.
And the drift brake is included with the GT Performance package.
Yes.
And only that, right?
Yep, that's the only way to get it.
Okay. So the 301A versus the 300A, you get 9-speaker stereo system, ambient lighting with My Color,
Yep.
dual zone electronic automatic temperature control, 6-way power driver's seat with power lumbar, cloth with vinyl trim, heated seats, driver and passenger, and Sirius XM radio with HD radio, includes a 3-month prepaid subscription. Yeah, not bad, desirable stuff. You're getting the digital dash, like you said, in each. So you really just, the big thing you're missing is leather, and that can also be resolved with a nice custom cat skin interior.
For about half the money of upgrading to the premium too.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. GT Performance Package. So let's get to details. We've sort of covered a lot of them already, but 19 by 9s in the front, 19 by 9.5 in the back, carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel with 255 4019 and 275 4019 summer only tires. And they're not telling us a brand here, and we know what we've seen, but that could also change with production as well. So we can't be certain what brand of tires, but there's been a lot of changes to the tires. But I can only say that we know from testing in the rain and at the Michelin Pilot Cup 4Ss.
Yep.
I just hope whatever they got is as good as that.
I've seen some pictures with the 4S on the car. Now, pre-production pictures, but that's kind of what I'm hoping we end up with. The P0s are good as well, though.
And the Continental, the new Continental supposedly are a really good sort of rival or challenger to the 4Ss from Michelin. Okay, so some notes under, let's go on the GT Performance Package. Keep going. The Brembo brake system with performance linings and black with white logo brake calipers.
Yep.
But again, on the Performance Package, you could upgrade for $650. You could change the color.
Yes.
I hope there's some restriction that people can't make stupid color combinations. But hey, the electric hand-operated parking brake, brackets drift brake we talked about, and seems fitting if you're going to have a drift brake. Maybe we should put some tow hooks on the front. So front tow hooks are now in the Performance Pack. The grille is painted ebony black, so that's going to be that sort of piano black. Heavy-duty front springs. K-brace, performance rear wing, that's painted body color. Note they call it a wing and not a spoiler. Black painted strut tower brace, that's a little different. Torsen differential, EA Torsen. 373 ratio with a manual, 355 with automatic, again unchanged. Unique chassis tuning, don't suppose that's changed much from last year. Unique stability control, E-Pass and ABS tuning. Upsized rear sway bar. Then we got some notes here to be aware of on the Performance Pack. Mini spare tire and wheel is replaced with a tire repair kit, so no spare in the Performance Package. It is not available with the optional wheel 642 or the block heater, but as we said, it is available. That 642, I believe, is the 20-inch wheel. And that's same as previous years, but when the Performance Pack is ordered with the Mustang Night Pony package. Again, the 19x9 and 19x9.5 carbonized gray painted wheel will be replaced with same size, same dimension wheel, black painted, with summer-only tires in the Mustang Night package. Have you seen that wheel, what that black painted one is? Yeah,
it's going to be a neat-looking wheel. In the, I'm sure it's on screen right now, but
yeah,
I like that.
Didn't give me, it doesn't have the note here, but the new bronze package.
Yeah.
And with what they're describing as sinister bronze wheel, and we have a picture there of that up on what we think that to be up on the screen. Hey, that's interesting.
Yeah. Now, something to note with the GTs, the bronze appearance package only appears to be available on the premium.
Premium, right. So that's why it's not noted here, because I'm reading the base GT performance package one. So, all right, thank you. That explains that. I wondered why they didn't have that. And the Performance Pack one is not available with over-the-top opacity face accent stripe. Refer to the stripe offering section. Yes, we'll do that later. There's one crazy one, and here they kind of come. So again, going through the standard GT, freestanding options, 19 by 8.5 inch premier polished wheels, which are not available with the Night Pony package or the GT Performance. So it's a 19-inch wheel that looks different.
Yep.
But not as large as the Performance Pack. The optional machine with tarnished dark aluminum wheels. This is the Performance Pack wheel, and this sort of the standard one with that, and that's not available with the Night package.
Yep, this one requires the Performance Pack, so I think it's actually an additional wheel. There are a lot of wheels this year. It's gonna.
So you're telling me you could theoretically be looking at 4 different wheels on a Performance Pack one? You think?
I think so. That sounds like a lot, but from what I'm reading so far, that's what it looks like. At least 3, but probably 4.
Yeah, and if I apologize if you're watching there and going, don't these guys have a clue what they're talking about? Well, no, we don't, because we've been given a list, but no pictures of the wheels, and we kind of sort of have to piece together what other pictures we've seen. Riley and I were down in Detroit in December. This city was crawling with pre-production 2024 Mustangs, so we did see a lot, but they're pre-production. So we saw 2024 Mustangs with 2021 wheels.
Yep. And V-band clamps welded to the exhaust for testing.
Yeah.
The paint peeling off of them because they'd had them who knows where.
Yeah. Okay, continuing on the base GT options here, red painted with white logo calipers, brake calipers with the GT Performance package, grabber blue painted with white logo calipers. What do they mean by logo there? Is that logo Brembo, or is that the
Yeah.
horse, or is that
No,
Mustang?
I'm reasonably sure that's going to say Brembo. From the pictures I've seen, it's all Brembo.
Okay.
Either way.
Okay. Again, the grabber blue painted logos, painted calipers are only available with the Performance pack. Here we go. Seatbelt red requires a GT Performance package.
Yep. But not on the red interior.
Yeah. Okay. Here's something interesting, and not a bad price at $2,200. Well, actually, a great price compared to what it would cost you afterward. You can now get 19-inch Brembo brake system with performance linings, as long as you have the Mustang Night Pony package. And but that's already included with the GT Performance package, and includes red painted with white logo calipers when the GT Performance package is not ordered. In other words, if you were to order the Brembo brake package with the Mustang Night package, you're going to get red painted calipers.
Yep.
But when you're in the GT Performance package, you're going to get black calipers.
And by default, but you can switch them to either red or to blue if you wanted to. That's the way they've worded this is a little bit confusing, but that's why they've got it listed I/O, so it's included and optional depending on other configurations.
Okay. 355 limited slip axle with the automatic, not available GT Performance. Spoiler delete does not tell me here that it's not available with the Performance Pack 1, but that's the way it used to be. You couldn't delete the spoiler on the Performance Pack 1. And
there were 1 or 2 years you could, but yeah, a lot of the time you couldn't. There's no
maybe
no indicator.
Why I think that might be important to some people is if you have a factory spoiler, you got a deck lid with holes in there.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking you want to go with your own spoiler, or you want to go to a big ass wing, you got the cost of filling in those holes that are going to be in the trunk if it came with a factory spoiler already. So that's just why I think that might be important to some people. And we will have aftermarket spoilers available and wings.
Yep.
Active valve performance exhaust is available on the base one. Includes chrome tips. And we talked about those are quad tips.
Yep.
Looks cool, eh?
Yeah.
And floor liners, no big deal. Over the top racing stripe, over the top opacity fade. So, you know, I think that's going to be, well, we've seen those sort of fading stripes recently. And it's vinyl. It's not available the Night Pony package. Rapid red.
That's the only paid color on these cars. I would have assumed the Blue Ember would have had, because it's got to be more than one coat to get that finish. But yeah, that's the only paid color option for this year is Rapid Red.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that Blue Ember later when we get to the Darkhorse. Block heater not available with the GT Performance package. Then there's a host of dealer installed options, most of them small and inconsequential. All right. Let's go on to the premium. It's certainly one of the most important configurations, and this is the one that we think we're going to sell the most of. Probably, but we know we like the 300A and the 301.
Yeah.
It's good value.
Yeah.
But leather interior, so you're going to get with the GT Premium, in addition to the standard equipment, the GT Standard, you are going to get approach detection with welcome farewell exterior lighting. Yeah. I don't know.
19 standard now for the premium. That's cool. 19-inch wheels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the GT, 19 by 8.5 are standard. Shadow silver, we'll got a picture of that on the screen right now. In the interior, aluminum foot pedals, ambient lighting with my color, climate control, dual zone electric temperature control. Yeah, well, of course, that was in the 301 of the standard GT. Aluminum front door sill scuff plates with individual logo, heated steering wheel. Magnesium framed curved glass display. So that's just, is the curved glass unique to the premium? Or is it just the magnesium framed?
So that makes sense from what I'm seeing. The base Mustang has the two screens are separate with a gap between. From what they're saying here, this is the new driver-focused kind of setup where that's going to be angled towards you a little bit.
So you are getting, with the premium, you are getting a different look to
you are getting a little bit different look there.
Okay. Premium door trim. The seats are 6-way power driver seat, 4-way power passenger, climate controlled, which is heated and cooled, driver and front passenger only, so the rears aren't. Leather trimmed in the front, vinyl in the rear, and soft door rollover.
Got me there.
Safety and security, mirrors, heated with pony puddle lamp, body color caps, power adjustable glass, and the Bliss blind spot information system. And security package, standard in the premium. That includes active anti-theft system, locking center console, and the wheel locking kit. And note standard on convertible only.
Yep, so it's a standalone on fastback, but included in convertible.
Okay, for whatever reason. And under functional, under the audio, 9-speaker sound system with amplifier, Sirius XM radio, HD radio. And if you haven't tried any of the HD radio, that's good quality audio. Really good quality audio. Better quality signal when you can get it than what you're going to get from streaming. You know, like from Spotify or any of that. The signal is clipped quite a bit. But the HD radio, it is FM radio, but it is, well, can be actually AM or FM. But on the FM radio, very good quality audio, I found, if you're within range. Universal garage door opener and wireless charging with USB charging port and mirror-mounted USB. So that's that's going to power a dash cam, maybe.
Yeah, a radar detector, depending on who you are.
Yeah, I guess depending on depending on who you are, where you live, maybe. Although whether it's legal or not doesn't stop a lot of people. All right, so continuing on with the premium here, talk about some of the options and what's included. The B&O sound system by Bang & Olufsen, 12 speakers, including the subwoofer in the trunk, is in the 401A package. There's two packages in the premium, 400, 401. And so the differences here we'll cover. In the 401, you get the Bang & Olufsen system. You get illuminated door sill scuff plates. You get premier trim with accent group. So what are we talking accent group here? Is that?
Yeah, it's a bunch of like accent stitching. Off color from the interior color stitching. That's how you get your leather wrapped steering wheel. They're going to have, the seatbelt's going to have a color accent of some sort on it. We haven't seen pictures of every interior yet, though. They're just not available. Okay. So we're still kind of guessing on some of those, but.
Right. Ford Copilot 360 Assist is in the 401A. That is adaptive cruise when equipped with 6-speed manual, adaptive cruise with stop and go when equipped with the automatic. Kind of makes sense if you know how the stop and go works. Lane keeping system with lane keeping assist, lane departure warning, includes driver alert system, road departure warning, blind spot assist when equipped with a 6-speed manual. You know, you're getting into some stuff that many people who want to drive this car enthusiastically want this stuff off.
Yeah.
So whether or not it's a value to you, you consider that. Pre-collision assist with camera and radar fusion and evasive steering assist. Well, we know what the evasive steering assist is. Pre-collision assist with camera and radar fusion. Don't know. Speed sign recognition with intelligent speed assist. Yeah, that's... I find that a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
Because you know, with the adaptive cruise control, you can preset, you know, how many, let's say I want to do 15 kilometers an hour over the speed limit.
Yeah.
And then you have your cruise control on and you change from a 100 to an 80K zone. Fair enough. but it when it does that, it cuts you down. It does cut you down to the 15K over still, but then
It's after you go past the sign, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the sign speeds back up again, depending on how it's equipped, I've noticed at least in Lincoln, it doesn't go back to the 15K over. It goes back to that speed limit.
I haven't had a Lincoln as a demo, but in the Fords I've driven recently with that, when you set it to 15 over, it does seem to work. It'll go back to the 15 over as you go past the signs. But it's slowing down is where you're going to end up with a ticket if you're not careful about it.
Got it. Well, the speed side recognition with intelligent speed sign recognition with intelligent speed assist when equipped with 6-speed manual. Speed sign recognition with intelligent adaptive cruise control and intelligent speed assist when equipped with a 10-speed automatic.
Yeah.
So a slightly different operation system there for the cruise control stick versus auto. And then the voice-activated touchscreen navigation system with pinch-to-zoom capability. Again, all part of that QNX Sync 4 system, which is really good, And I believe we can brag about Canadian-developed. QNX, I think, is based out of Ottawa. And if you don't know, QNX is basically the old BlackBerry. Right? So, and is generally thought to have the best sort of vehicle integration for technology systems, QNX that is, but particularly with Sync 4. Really good. All right, freestanding options on the premium, the GT Performance Package. We've sort of covered that. That's basically the same as on the other one. But here comes this Bronze Appearance Package with, if you don't have the Performance Package, it's 19 by 8.5s all the way around on 255/40/19 W-rated tire. But when you get the Performance Pack and then double on the Bronze Appearance Pack, now the wheels are upgraded 19 by 9 in the front, 19 by 9.5 in the back. Sinister bronze wheels. You can see the picture there hopefully on the screen. With summer tires, obviously different size. And bronze package badging. I think I'm going to like that in the color combination.
It looks really good.
I wonder, it'd be interesting if there's any color restrictions on that. It says not available with the Night Pony package. Okay, that makes total sense. But I mean, I've seen, that would look good with white. It would look good with black. It would look good with red. Not yellow.
I feel like you could make it work with the gray too.
Yeah.
Like with a dark matter gray.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool look.
Yeah, it would be. Mustang Night Pony package. We've talked about that. It's the same thing on the premium versus the standard GT. All the same restrictions. And then go to the next page in the order guide, and oh my gosh, quite a, as we said, just a lot of combinations, and that weren't available before. A lot of flexibility, so I think that's great. There's an upgraded sound system here. You can go to on either the 400A and or the 401. It shows as an option, but there's a difference here. This is a Bang & Olufsen sound system with HD radio and 12 speakers, including the subwoofer. Reduced capacity amplifier.
This one's actually a credit for when you order the B&O if the bigger amplifier is not available, is what that one is. So they're already planning for some mandatory deletes, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay. The old COVID supply chain issue?
Yep.
Oh, let's hope not. Okay, the different wheels. I'm just going to go over them quickly again. The Premier polished aluminum wheel, the tarnished dark aluminum wheel in the 19 by 9.5s, the 20 by 9 inch we haven't talked a lot about. Not available with the Night Pony package, not available with the Bronze, not available with GT Performance. So basically a standalone wheel only on the GT Premium or base. MagnaRide requires the GT Performance package. So the GT Performance package is $6,500 and you don't get MagnaRide.
Yep.
It's a lot of money. but a lot of equipment too. Active valve exhaust, we talked about, now $14.95. The seatbelt reds, we talked about that. It requires the GT Performance Package. Not available with Bergio, and I have no idea if I'm saying that right. And my apology to my Italian friends out there. It looks like
I'm going to say it's Ember Glow.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think.
Oh, yeah, that's not an I,
But
that's an L. Thank you.
I was looking
Ember
it
Glow,
up
you're
early.
right. Never mind, Italians. I didn't offend you. Ember Glow. Is that going to be brownish orange, maybe?
That's the best I
yet.
can come up with. I was looking everywhere I could, and I can't find any evidence of this color existing yet. So other than it was an exterior color on 60s Mustangs.
Okay.
And it was, yeah, like a reddish orange kind of thing.
Okay. Carmine red. So the red seat belts aren't available, those two colors. And there's the painted calipers again, red, blue, grabber blue, that is. Again, you can get the 19-inch, basically the Brembo brake package, just standalone. You get a spoiler delete.
Yep, that's convertible only, interestingly, for the performance package.
Well, it says include the GT Performance Package convertible only, so I presume that means
that
you're still
which
getting,
makes sense. In previous years, the convertibles didn't have the wing either.
Right, like this one behind us.
Yes, that's a perfect example.
Yeah, there's a convertible with a performance pack, which was new in 22, right? You couldn't get the performance pack on a convertible prior to that.
I think 21, because I definitely did a supercharged convertible performance pack in 21.
All right. And then the famous, sort of famous, Recaro seats. The Recaro seat option is you're going to lose the heated and cooled seats, right?
Yep. I think you even lose the power.
You're going to lose the power seat. You're going to pay, used to be $1,500, and now the Recaro seats are $1,800 option. Fastback only. Ecoboost or GT.
Yep.
So you're going to pay $1,800. Yeah, they're going to hug you in there and good for the track, but you're going to lose those features. And the standard seats are really nice as it is.
Yep.
Not my $1,800, but hey.
Yeah, not for everybody, but in some applications, I really like them.
And then the last one's again over the top racing stripe, not available in convertible. And Rapid Red is the only optional color charge, and block heater, not available GT Performance Package. Okay, Darkhorse. Lots of conversation on that Darkhorse, that's for sure. Replaces, as we said, the Darkhorse replaces the Mach 1. And when we read in this order guide here, it starts off with saying it includes all of the GT 301A content plus. So 19-inch branded brake system with performance lining. So Brembo brakes, active valve exhaust is standard with black extensions on the Darkhorse. Yeah,
unique to the Darkhorse.
Yeah. Brembo 6-piston front brake calipers with larger rotors, electric hand-operated parking brake. We know that the engine is slightly different, and this is the MOD 5-liter 4-valve double overhead cam EFI NA. Stop-start system not available. Fancy way of saying 500 horsepower, 5-liter.
Yep, 500, which is not that far off of a GT350, if you think about it. A GT350, I think, was 526 or something like that.
Yeah.
These cars are really coming up to that level of performance with, 0.2 liters less displacement.
And it was, to be fair, okay, that was a different motor in the Shelby, but we see from the performance numbers from Ford Performance, or you can look at the Mach 1, when you were putting the different intakes from the Shelby, So in other words, these higher horsepower. But it comes at a price.
Yep.
It comes at a price because you give up bottom end torque, and you only get that added horsepower, pretty high RPM, right?
Yeah.
So now with this new 5-liter, when we're comparing a Darkhorse to a Shelby, how is it going to actually translate to performance? That's going to be interesting, but it's going to be a serious car.
Yeah.
Serious car, but it's also going to be serious dough, and we're going to talk about that in a minute here. So it includes also the engine oil, transmission, and differential coolers. Well, I can tell you the transmission cooler, that's a dustpan that bolts underneath, no big deal. But the differential cooler, we know about that, going back to the initial Shelby in 2017, the GT350 that is, maybe, or was that 2015 or 2017?
Yeah,
it became
15.
standard 2016, and previous didn't have it. And you would overheat that diff on a track.
Yep.
When I looked into dealer installing that from Ford Performance, oh boy, you were into some big money. A lot of money to put that in. So that's a big feature to be included in that. Gauge pack, the oil pressure and vacuum. The vacuum gauge also functions as a boost gauge if when there's a supercharger coming out. Heavy duty front springs, Magna ride damping systems included, unique intake manifold, open air induction system, performance enhanced powertrain calibration, silver painted strut tower brace with the Darkhorse badge. Odd that a Darkhorse gets a silver strut tower and the GT gets a black one, or the
Mach 1 was the same actually. I actually had a GT show up with the Mach 1 strut tower race one time. It was kind of neat.
Performance enhanced powertrain calibration. Transmission, the Tremec 6-speed manual with rev matching. Big fans, hardcore racers love that Tremec transmission. Torsen differential with 373 axle, great, got to have that. Unique chassis tuning, unique EPAS, ABS, and stability control. On the exterior, the bigger wheels, now even bigger, 19 by 9.5 on the front, 19 by 10 on the back. These would be tarnished, dark painted, low gloss aluminum wheels. That'd be 255/40/19 on the front and 275/40/19 on the rear, summer only tires. Darkhorse badge on front fender and rear deck lid. Front tow hooks. Hood accent stripe. See the stripe offering for available colors. Performance front aero splitter. Placed in vehicle for installation post sale.
That's like the old PP2.
Yeah. Performance rear spoiler. Unique front and rear lower fascia. Hood vent. Unique front upper grille with pony badge. Unique lower and outboard grills. So bigger, and obviously, and they're all going to be painted in that black or that dark charcoal contrast, I would imagine. On the interior comfort, here's this magnesium framed curved glass display.
Yep.
So we can assume then that the displays between a Darkhorse and a Premium are the same.
Yes.
Even though it says the Darkhorse has everything a 301 has plus this, it's basically sort of also adding a lot of the premium content, right?
Yes. Cloth seats though, and they'd be heated because they're 301A, but you will have cloth seats in a 600A Darkhorse anyway.
Got it. Okay.
Which we'll get to 600A in a minute, but
okay. Ambient lighting, black alley cup holder surround. Leather wrapped flat bottom steering wheel with performance sewed insert. So that flat bottom steering wheel, though, that's across the board.
That's all of them. The suede inserts are the difference.
That's
here.
the difference here, right? Okay. Heated steering wheel. Darkhorse instrument panel badge with unique chassis number. Numbered chassis, cool. Premium floor mats. Door sill scuff plates with logo. Seats are 6-way power driver, 4-way power passenger. That appears to be the same. Heated seats, driver and passenger. Interestingly, not cooled, but of course it's not leather either.
Yep.
Rear seats, split benches, folding, cloth seats. Note, color and trim available. See color and trim availability section for seat color information, which we'll do. The seat belts are deep indigo.
More colored seat belts.
Yeah.
That translates to purple. They're pretty purple from the pictures I've seen. It's kind of neat.
Okay. Do you say so? Unique soft console material, titanium anodized blue shift knob.
Yeah, that's really cool actually. If you've seen a picture of it yet, I like that.
Must going to be available as an accessory, I would think,
yeah.
or through our parts department. All right. The headlamps on safety and security. Headlamps with black bezel, K-brace. Mirrors on the side view mirrors are dual power adjustable with tarnished dark anodized.
Yep. You're going to get all that Copilot 360 stuff that we were looking at in the last cars. Depending on which type of transmission you've got the adaptive cruise control one way or the other. You can't get stop and go with the manual, obviously, because it can't change gears for you. All the lane keeping assist stuff. Interestingly,
you're going to get the stereo system, the 12 speaker with subwoofer.
Yep.
An HD radio in the Darkhorse. I mean, people want that, but if it's a track car,
well, it's a weight thing, right?
It's a weight thing, yeah. All right. Getting into the equipment packages, difference between a 600A and 700A on the Darkhorse. Included in the 700A is aluminum foot pedals, approach detection with welcome farewell exterior lighting, climate control, oh, here we go, heated and cooled driver and passenger seats, not available with Recaro. So are we getting leather in the 700A?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, and the Recaros are leather in the 700 as well.
Okay.
Just not heated or cooled.
Got it. The memory positions are three settings, along with the seat, the driver's seat, and the mirrors. Universal garage door opener. Premium trim with color accent group, accent stitch center console, wrap knee bolsters, attached step and shifter boot, color accented seats, leather wrapped steering wheel, top hide 5-piece with black alley bezel, unique color accented door trim. Again, see the color and trim guide. All that's in the 700A, and the security package included in 700A, active anti-theft, etc. Then, not that that's not good enough, with the Darkhorse on either the 600 or the 700, you can get the Darkhorse handling package. Really kind of similar to what was available last year in the Mach 1.
Yes, yeah, it mirrors the Mach 1 handling package pretty closely here. You've got, again, a different wider again. You've got 10.5 wide and 11-inch wide wheels in the back, 305s in the front and 315s in the rear. And these are going to be like a Cup style tire, I'm assuming, either Sport Cup 2 or something along those lines. It does show, so this is how you get your MagneRide as well. You're going to get the gurney flap like the Mach 1, so the extension on the rear wing, and revised chassis tuning, which, based on how it was last year with the Mach 1s, they're a lot higher spring rate and a lot lower. They come with those spacer pucks so they can actually get them on and off the truck, because they're so low once you take those spacer pucks out that they won't go on a transport.
What do I, in the Darkhorse handling package, what am I to make of adjustable strut top mounts?
Yep, so you're going to be able to adjust presumably camber and caster. So you're either going to be able to add camber or caster is what changes your like on-center steering feel, and camber, depending on the track, you either want more or less. To basically, you have your tires with the top pointed in a little bit, so that as you roll into a turn, the outside wheel straightens out and you get your full contact patch in the turn. The trade-off is you have less contact patch going straight.
Because I remember going back to the 2019 year, you really had to dig to find it, but there was different alignment specs on a PP2 versus PP1, you know, with the larger tires.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, and swapping tires and wheels back and forth, you had to be aware of that, or you should have been aware of that. Okay, the security package is optional on the 600, included in the 700, and the
that's that delete again.
Yeah, that reduced capacity amplifier option. So that's a downgrade option available on both of those. Okay. Well, we still haven't spent enough money, because now on the Darkhorse, we can now add the Darkhorse appearance package.
And that requires your favorite color, blue ember. That's the only way to get the appearance package.
I mean, that's the color that we've seen Ford feature there. Riley and I were talking about this before. I just don't like the color. I don't get it.
Yeah, and
but you know, it's in a personal opinion.
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. I think it's somewhat reminiscent of like Mystic or Mystachrome on the 90s and early 2000s Cobras. No green in it like those ones had, but I think it's really neat.
Like I get it might be a technically advanced paint, but just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. It just does not. It just doesn't scream performance to me.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
fair enough.
Sorry, I don't know, but anyway. So the Darkhorse appearance package, black painted roof, unique black calipers. Unique black calipers. What are we talking?
We've got brake calipers.
Notorious blue with
yeah.
grabber blue logo.
So we're gonna have 4 different brake caliper options.
Technically 5, aren't we?
I guess including the fact, like the non-Brembos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And this is cool. It's blue over blue, so it's blue with blue logo.
Yeah, notorious blue with grabber blue logo.
Yeah.
The Darkhorse appearance package also gives you a unique hood graphic. Note includes painted black roof except when ordered with shadow black paint.
Which is odd. If you go through...
Well, why would you have a painted black roof
Yeah.
if you have a black car?
Yeah. The odd thing with that, the availability on here with the color offerings, I didn't think you could get it with black, but maybe I missed that.
Recaro micro suede sport seats. We talked about that. That's an option on either 600 or 700. Now we're going to get into a couple of what I call controversial options. The carbon fiber wheel option at $10,900. Not of my money.
I think it's really cool that they offer a carbon fiber wheel. It shows that, in my opinion anyway, Ford's really serious about making this as serious of a track vehicle as possible. But it's for anybody who's doing anything other than dedicated track driving, that's not a $10,900 option. That's probably close to a $20,000 option because you're not going to want to run around on the street on carbon fiber wheels, in my opinion. They're just too big of a risk of, having to replace a carbon fiber wheel. So it's going to cost you a lot more than that almost $11,000 to run them, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, I know we have the equipment here at Blackstock to change the tires on carbon fiber wheels. They require very specialized equipment, but maybe not everybody's going to have that.
Yep.
And then, but you made a point that years down the road, it's going to be a very rare option.
Oh, yeah.
Who's ponying up 11 grand for carbon fiber wheels? Yep. I don't know. But maybe the same guy that's going to pony up for that is going to pony up for the next option, custom hood and accent painted stripe.
Yep.
Which would be tarnish dark high gloss shadow black or tarnish dark high gloss tuxedo black, late availability. That tuxedo black, that's going to have the metallic in it.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. That would
I do like
cool.
that color.
I do like that color, but I don't like $7,000.
Yeah,
So you take, that ends up, Riley, if you add everything you can into, so you're a Darkhorse without the carbon fiber wheels and without the hood.
Yep.
And without an automatic.
Yep.
89 grand.
Yes.
Yeah, it's comparable to where a Mach 1 was last year in Canadian dollars.
That's a reasonable
that's with the handling package. That's like $700, right? But now you're talking 11 grand for wheels, oh geez, we're what?
105.
$105,000, 107 with an automatic maybe.
Yep.
And with options I just don't get. Like I wouldn't be adding those 3 options, the automatic, the carbon fiber wheels and the hood. We're talking 20 grand almost.
Yep.
Right?
At Barrett Jackson 2063 though, you'll be the coolest guy.
I guess. And then lastly, there's another grabber blue calipers with white logos available on the Darkhorse package.
I've lost track now then.
I've lost track now.
It's 5 or 6 different brake calipers.
That's the high hard ones for us going over the order guide for you. And before, we're going to gone on too long already, but we want to give you this information. We do it every year. We're giving you the early information for the Canadian order guide so that you know what's available. Let's talk about product and allocation quickly. That's maybe something that we should stress. The new way of Ford allocating product is sort of twofold. There's allocating product for retail customer builds, and there's allocating product for the dealer order. The allocation for that is going to come from previous sales. It's going to be weighted to 12 months ago and some other factors. you know, and I'm happy about that because this has always kind of been our specialty. So
Yep.
with the number of Mustangs we've sold in the last number of years, we anticipate, not only we anticipate, we're going to demand that we get our fair share of these Mustangs so we can supply our customers who trust us for that and trust us for real information, real transparent information. When am I going to get my car? Darkhorse, slightly, it is different because the Darkhorse allocation is done manually from Ford. Every dealer is going to get one to start with.
Yep.
And then there will be some, I'm expecting there'll be some extra available, but it's a short model year in the 24. So maybe not, can't be 100% guaranteed. But if anybody gets them, we sold 6 Mach 1s.
I want to say 6 last year.
We got a 7th coming in the 23 model year.
Yep, dark matter gray, 600A. If anyone's looking for a Mach 1, that should be here in the next month or two, I would think.
What is it?
It's a 600A.
Yeah.
So it's
What color?
It's dark matter gray.
Okay.
And the handling package. But because we went with the 600A, we kept it basic other than that. Tremec, obviously, kept it with the 6-speed, but...
So great track car.
Yes. It's exactly what my thought was.
Awesome. Well, let's finish up there, Riley. You finish up with your impressions and what you're looking forward to on the 2024 Mustang.
Yeah, I'm really excited for these. This is the biggest change in Mustang since probably 2015, I would say, with the number of different packaging options and color options, not to mention styling. I'm glad, you know, that the pricing didn't really go up that dramatically from 2023, so that's good to see. These are still going to be, you know, a fairly affordable sports car that...
We just talked about a $100,000 Mustang.
Maybe not that one, but you can still get into, you know, $60,000 cars with very nice equipment. So,
yeah, you know, so I should say on the pricing, maybe I'm just being an old fart, but I'll say this, that I have observed in the collector car market that many of the most valuable cars today were, when they were released new, were very expensive and didn't sell well. So, you know, limiting the production of the Darkhorse makes sense. You know, it's going to be an expensive car, but I will say this. I remember in high school being just blown away by a guy in school with a black 69 Boss 429 Mustang. And what is that car worth today? Well, you know, if you had to do it all over again, you would sign up for it. They probably were something like $8,000 or $9,000 in '69. I don't know. You look it up, but it was a lot more than what the base car was, and so they didn't sell that well. But right?
Yep. No, there's a lot to be said about the exclusivity of it. You don't want to be like, you know, there are some other brands where their Halo car, they build as many of them as they can, or their Halo trucks, like a TRX maybe, where they're on every corner.
I mean, yeah, I like, the Hellcats. I mean,
yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah. But, hey, Ford Motor Company got a great product lineup. What I want to close off in saying is here we are, Ford, you know, with an approach for want to be leaders in the electric vehicles, but still got their foot on the gas. And here we have an all-new body, S650 Mustang, and we've got 4 to 5 windows of that, 4 to 5 year window of that body style at least. And we see our competitors going away.
Yep.
Camaro going away, Challenger going away.
Yep.
I think that's our competitors, or is it? Is the Darkhorse really a BMW M Series competitor?
Yeah, I would say like M cars, Porsches, that kind of stuff might be more track focused than, Hellcats and Camaros are tire smoke focused.
I would support that statement by saying, through the release and the reveal, we learned that Ford is getting really serious about GT4 and GT3 programs.
Yeah, we're gonna have cup cars.
Yeah. So it's this is a real move forward for Mustang. I'm freaking stoked.
Yeah.
And I've been around for enough generations and reiterations for Mustangs. Every year, same thing. The new one, oh, it's ugly. Some people say, but then the cars get here and they get on people see them in person. Even for myself. And we're going to find the right combinations of colors that we like and those kinds of things. But I think it actually is a great looking car.
Yeah. No, they did a good job with the redesign.
Yeah, and one little thing I would, very small little piece. I know our friends at Air Design who supplied the Mustang side scoops for the California Special previous years. They're going to have one for this new body style, but not through Ford. And I don't know if you think that the hind quarter looks too Camaro for you, that fixes that.
Yep. Not on that note.
Side scoops I'm talking about.
That's something that bugs me. The hind quarter of a Mustang looking like a Camaro.
Yeah.
The Mustang came out first, so the Camaro looks like a Mustang.
Yeah, but I think people are saying the new one, the 24.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit more sculptured in the hips there.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't pay much attention to it, but I just say that if that really bugs you that much, putting the side scoops on there brings back a traditional. If that's what you want, that's that traditional Mustang look. It's gone way too long. There's so much to talk about, and we really just wanted to get this information out there as soon as possible because you're going to need to order your Mustangs as soon as possible.
Yeah, we can order them already.
Yeah, we can order them already. We're going to be ordering our stock units. We're looking at the okay to buy. So the day planned right now where the 24s are going to be released to the public is in June, right?
Yep.
And then you got transportation time. So you're really talking July.
Yep.
If here we are early March 5th. So, you know, if you were in the showroom here today, well, we'd be closed because it's Sunday as we film this, but you're not talking till July.
No.
So if you really want a new Mustang, come and see us at Blackstock Ford Lincoln. We have a whole host of great guys. Each of them kind of have their specialty as well as general knowledge. We pride ourselves on knowledgeable about product. Riley here, he's just an enthusiast through and through. He races his own Mustang. Builds a crazy electric cooler that does 30 miles an hour. That's another story. But Riley's a gearhead. We have our mod shop, Bad Dog Mods. We're a Ford Performance Parts dealer. We're enthusiasts. Stay tuned what we're going to have for customizing our cars and what the Venom Mustang might look like. Touch wood, we're going to see superchargers available in a reasonable time frame now that we're kind of past this whole COVID work from home engineering challenge. Might get them in a speedy manner. So that's it for me. For Riley, what would you like to close off with?
I would just say if you guys have any questions, that stuff we somehow didn't cover in the video here, I'm going to be watching the comments, so just post them in the comments and I'll try to get to all of them. Thanks for watching. Thanks for having me again, Jim. It's always fun.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, we've only just looked at this for a couple of days, and it's sort of not even really complete. So we'll also know a lot more in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and maybe we'll have some more of those answers that we couldn't be so clear about, thanks to some of the vagueness of looking at text. Well, once again, Jim Carson, Blackstock Ford Lincoln, Highway 9 in Orangeville, blackstockford.com. And I really want to thank you for watching. Thank you for being passionate about the brand. And Riley's organizing our Mustang show. COVID is done. We're going to have some people back, have some fun.
Yep.
Stay tuned for the dates of that. And look forward to seeing Mustang freaks then. So once again, thanks very much for watching. Long video.